to see you, Luke.
Good to see you. Long time no see. Sorry I missed last week.
Yeah, I know. We did all right, though. We got a great guest, so here we go. We're ready to go. Hello, I'm Matt, and this is Luke, and we're the founders of the People's Champions International. And so we thank you for viewing and subscribing to our YouTube channel and podcast at People's Champions International. So we do appreciate your insights and comments, which you can, put right on our comment page on our YouTube channel, or you can email us at peopleschampionsinterntional@gmail.com. So welcome to round 12, as we're elevating what people can do while discussing the impact of artificial intelligence on our lives. This round is bringing to light how the future of the workforce is in question due to AI versus natural intelligence. And natural intelligence is people. That's us. And so basically, you heard that right. It's in question, as we have credible sources and recent information from Microsoft, IBM, Google, Meta, and the AFL-CIO. So Luke's going to get us started. He has a great starting point and topic to discuss with us. And so, Luke, dive right in.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
I definitely can.
All right, I figured I'd share the article. So this is interesting. This topic this week, I think, is one of the first times where I've kind of been like, I don't really know what's going on. I feel like I've had an opinion one way or the other on some things. This is kind of a unique week. Matt mentioned IBM. Just going to share some interesting statistics here in a little bit. But before that, just to kind of set this up, if you see on the Fortune magazine here, they posted an article. This was December 5th. And it said Meta and IBM face off against Google, Microsoft as AI tech bosses all demand regulation, just different kinds. And the crux of this, just to summarize the whole thing up for you, is that essentially what's happening, the article gets into it, is that Facebook and their parent company Meta are joining forces with IBM. They launched a new group called the AI Alliance, and they are really pushing for this open science architecture through AI, which basically means they want to keep everything that's shared, all the source code, everything that's made with AI open, so that everyone has equal access to that and can continue to build upon that, and nobody has the power for themselves. Ironically, OpenAI, which that was what the reason that open was in their name to begin with, was when Elon Musk and Altman and all them created AI, they said this needs to stay open so that for the safety of humanity, so that certain powers don't control it. But OpenAI is now teamed up with Microsoft and then Google. They're also part of this, where they want to keep it closed. They do not want the public seeing the source and the coding for AI. And there's two different debates as they kind of get into it. IBM and Meta are saying, of course, they want that because it's easier to make money off of, which is everybody's first instinct. Mm-hmm. But what they're also saying, Microsoft, OpenAI, and Google, is that it's dangerous for basically the entire public to have access to AI, where they can potentially have bad actors involved and create very hostile or very negative things that could turn into dangers for the world. So they want to keep it closed as a way to protect the public from bad actors. So that goes kind of back to the root. It's like, well, who are the bad actors? Is it the general public, and is there no way to regulate them? Or is corporations having all the power give them, basically all the power to potentially be the bad actors? And that's where really this debate's kind of landing is IBM and Meta are saying it needs to stay open. OpenAI, Microsoft, and Google are saying it needs to stay closed. And now there's this great debate going on. So I just wanted to share that as some context for what you're going to share. But I thought it was interesting that basically that was going on. And we'll see what stats you've got to share regarding that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's an interesting topic that you're addressing with our subscribers and viewers and us right now. It's like, do we keep it open or do we keep it closed? But I think the ultimate question is the why on both sides. Why all the concerns? Why do we have to hide things? Why do we have to be protected from it? 9-10 months ago, the talk was AI is just going to augment. It's going to help humanity. And, 10-11 months later, boy, I feel the story has really changed. The dynamics are changing, and there's a lot of fluid information and, a lot of unknown going on out there, and
we've said from the beginning, and I think that it's typical propaganda. It's nothing to worry about here, people. And then there's others that are saying, yeah, there is. And then here's 11 months, 12 months later, like, well, there is something to worry about. We need to keep this closed. Okay, is it really dangerous? Have you been lying the whole time, or is this a money play? Like, I don't know, so it is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it definitely is. So I'm going to focus a little bit on the partnership with Microsoft and OpenAI and the AFL-CIO, which we do have an article on. Before I go into that, though, I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. But another article from Decrypt, and you can look this up. It was recent, but it's just I'm reading from my cell phone here as I glance down. But basically, what they're talking about, this ties into the Microsoft article I'm getting ready to show. But generative AI has raised the specter of AI's decimation of the workforce, is what this article is saying, which is now a critical discussion across several industries, including entertainment, fast food, and freelancing industries, and more. Also, back in August, just a few months ago, IBM said that roughly 1.4 billion, not million, 1.4 billion people will need new job training due to the impact of artificial intelligence on the workplace, with the highest impact felt by entry-level workers. Now, this is a part and ties into the article that I'm going to share on my screen right here, which is the Microsoft article. And 1 second here as I pull that up. So, Luke, can you see that now?
Yeah, just well, yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, okay, there it is. All right, fantastic. And so, basically, just to Luke and I are all about providing credible sources. That we're not just pulling this out of thin air. This is off of Microsoft's website. The title of the article is AFL-CIO and Microsoft announced a new tech labor partnership on AI and the future of the workforce. As you can see, this is dated December 11th, 2023, so it's just a few days old.
Yeah, I think not to cut you off, but what's
Yeah.
interesting about that is that's 6 days after the article I just shared, and it's
Yeah.
got this new alliance. It says AFL-CIO and Microsoft announced a new partnership, and it says new AI alliance. That's exactly what Meta and IBM had formed an alliance for AI. It's like this. It's like this two teams. There's a two-party system here all of a sudden.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. There's these different perspectives, and the outcome is unknown, and we're trying to work on that. And we need to, create awareness. Keep talking to our leaders. Keep talking to our elected officials. This is very important. I think it was downplayed, 9, 10, 11, 12 months, a year ago, whatever. And it's coming to light that this is going to be a social challenge that we have to overcome together. Right below the article title there, you'll see in the italics, this new AI alliance will educate workers, incorporate labor's voice in tech development, and help shape policy to support workers. Now, keep in mind, Microsoft and OpenAI want to keep it open, right, Luke? That's what you said.
No, opposite. That would make sense if it was OpenAI. That's how they formed, but that's the opposite. Microsoft and OpenAI want to close it. Meta and IBM want to keep it open. Yeah,
I apologize for the mix-up.
No.
So Microsoft and OpenAI want to keep it closed. Want to keep it private. Okay. Now, what they want to do is, scrolling down this article, this partnership that they've developed with the AFL-CIO, which is part of Congress, is, hey, we're committed to the following goals, and I got the three of them on the screen here. Hopefully, you can see those. But number one is AI education for workers and students, and so they want to keep this closed. But they're saying, hey, we're going to provide formal learning opportunities on the latest and prospective developments of AI, providing labor leaders and workers with critical information and insights. All right, so keep that in mind because they want to keep this closed. They want to monetize it. All right, so think about that for a moment. Number two, they're open to direct feedback from labor leaders and workers. They want to ensure that the expertise and perspectives of workers inform the work of Microsoft's AI developers and partners that have developed a mechanism for labor leaders and workers to share experiential insights and concerns and feedback directly to continue to develop this technology. All right, so another aha moment, so pay attention to that. And number three, joint policy and skills development. So it ties in to this, what Luke talked about, the article from Decrypt that ties into this. And look at number three. As Congress debates the future of AI and the workforce legislation in the committees of the House and the Senate and the bipartisan AI insight forums, the AFL-CIO and Microsoft will join forces to propose and support policies that will equip workers with the essential skills, knowledge, and economic support, which is livelihood. We've talked about that, needed to thrive in an AI-powered economy. So, once again, I know it sounds redundant, but we're going back to, hey, 10 months ago, a year ago, this is going to augment our jobs. No one has nothing to worry about. Now we're talking about a whole different story here. We've talked about potential job losses, training, retooling. They're saying that this is now going to be needed. And so I just stopped, sharing my article here so we can go back to direct dialogue. But this is what People's Champions International is all about. This is what our purpose, mission, and vision is all about, is to avoid complacency, to continue this dialogue, to create awareness that we're talking to our business leaders, we're talking to our elected officials. We cannot be blindsided by all this. You agree, Luke?
Yeah, and I think what kind of struck me is as you're able to sit back and I'm just listening versus kind of trying to analyze, I was able to take more in. And one thing that was interesting is that you've got these two groups now that have, different perspectives on we need to keep it closed and open. But both of them on the back end of that are saying the same thing, that we're going to have to retrain workers. We're going to have to reinvest all this money and energy into making sure that the entire workforce is retrained and up to speed. IBM said, I think was it the Decrypt article or one of them that you quoted, that there's 1.4 billion jobs that are going to be lost and need to be retrained on AI.
The Decrypt article.
And so that's the group that's saying, let's keep it open, but they're saying, hey, this is going to change everything. And then there's a group let's close it. Here we go again. My camera tries to follow me. Let's close it. But then they're saying the same thing, that we're going to have to retrain the whole workforce. So one way or the other, it sounds like there's nobody that's not saying, or this isn't going to affect anybody. Everybody, no matter what stance they take, is saying this is going to revolutionize the entire workforce, which they weren't saying before.
We can't agree on that. They're saying there is going to be an impact, and there's going to be a large impact, is what the word is now.
Regardless of who you talk to.
Now we have the different lines of thinking of keeping AI tech open, or keeping it closed.
So to summarize you've got one group open, one group closed, but at the end of the day, everybody's saying it's gonna change everything, and the whole workforce is gonna essentially need to be retrained. But then, so that leaves the only debate of, is it safer to be in the power of a few corporations, or is it safer to be where everybody can have visualization to it? And that's the great debate that I'd love to hear our listeners chime in on, because I honestly don't know. I think everybody should probably try to form an opinion on that, one way or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. And that just ties into, as we bring things in for landing people, that we have so much to talk about, and the media will not and cannot cover it all. And so just like Luke was referencing there, we need you people, not AI, all peoples to stand with us, no matter where you're from, whether it's here in the U.S. or international, to contribute and promote to what we're talking about. And so we do want to hear your stories. If you got more knowledge on what we've just talked about, reach out to us, because we want to hear about how people, businesses, and or governments alike are utilizing AI technologies in a way that benefits society, or if it's in an adversarial way, we want to hold them accountable.
Absolutely. So if you could chime in and say, hey, I think keeping it closed is the right play because of this, or keeping it open is the right play. I can definitely see both sides. I'd love to hear what people have to think, but feel free to comment right there beneath this video. Just go directly to our page at People's Champions International on YouTube, and you can scroll through and make comments wherever. And then just keep in mind, we've got more engaging content coming weekly, and are looking forward to hosting more guests as well. So thank you for listening.
Yes, we are. And as mentioned, if you're interested in being a guest, reach out, let us know your name and the why behind why we should have you on. And we're going to vet that, and we're going to do our best to make it work. And Luke made a comment about future content. We're very excited too about our next round. We do have a guest coming on that's going to tie back to our education round from a few rounds ago, just highlighting about how education roles were being replaced by an AI chatbot. So we got an expert coming on. We're very, very excited about this one, so you don't want to miss it. So with that, until round 12, thank you for viewing and subscribing. And remember, AI may be intelligent, but people are wise.
People are wise.
So be well.
Be well, everybody.